Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journey channel. Today is a page inspired by Inkie Quill, and it's using up all those alphabet stickers we all have. So I've been stamping and scrapbooking for longer than I care to remember, and I have got a drawer full of stickers, and I came across Inkie Quill's page, or Adele's page, where she used lots and lots of her alphabet stickers, and I thought that's a great way to. She used them on scrapbook pages before, and then she did one in a night journal. I thought, oh yeah, I could do that. So I pulled out all my alphabet stickers. As you can see, I've got lots and lots. I did choose to put in an actual quote, so I am an artist, and I thought I would have that in there sort of as a hidden message, and then fill up the page with extra stickers. Now I'm using them in all ways, shapes and forms, in all directions, just filling up the gaps. Some of them are foam, some of them are cardboard, so just sort of going in. I'm also using some of the apostrophe marks and so on, just everything I've got on the page. I was determined to finish off these 3 pages of stickers and you know, use them in any way I possibly could. One thing I was trying to avoid was any accidental random words in the background, so making sure sort of mixing up numbers and letters and so on, or putting them in different directions just so it didn't make any extra words. When I finished this, I decided I've still got an awful lot on my sticker page, so I went nuts and I started to do the next page as well, and just filled it all up. So it's a really mindless activity. You don't need to think about it very much. It's great to do. You could do it in front of the TV. I usually have something playing in the background on my iPad while I'm creating, so I was just sort of tuned out, sticking stickers down, listening to whatever was on the screen. So that was quite fun. So yeah, it's just filling it up. At this stage I was starting to get a bit frustrated. It's like, when will these sticker pages end? I cannot possibly have more than this. This is ridiculous. Knowing full well that I have still gotten a complete basket full of alphabet stickers that have barely been touched, left to use. So I could probably fill up an entire journal doing this technique, and I probably still wouldn't put a dent in my sticker collection. So I do hope I'm not the only person who has this issue. I've got a feeling probably scrapbookers really understand where I'm coming from, possibly card makers too. It's just a bit scary when you see it all out here and how long it takes. But I did finish off 3 or 4 sheets. I only had a few bits and pieces left over at the end, and I was bad. I just got sick of it and just threw the rest of them in the bin, because I was just like, nah, not going to use them anymore, so I'm going to put it in the bin. Now I'm just going in with some black paint, or actually black gesso. Gesso is just that little bit thicker than black paint, and being really generous with putting it on. I am using a brush. You could probably use a sponge over the top. It was a little bit difficult to cover some of the surface areas. The gold, because it had a sort of slick cover, would wipe off some of the paint, which I didn't mind too much in the end, and it gave me an idea for putting some gold wax over the top as well to sort of hide that. The thing I found not tricky, but just something to keep aware of, was because you've got all these different shapes and sizes, and now you've got all these little nooks and crannies, just to try and get all of it painted. It wasn't such a big deal on this page because the background was already black, so possibly if I was doing this again, I would paint whatever I was doing first and then repaint over the top of it, so you already had the black there and you didn't have telltale white bits sort of peeping through. May not be an issue for what you're planning to do. I just noticed for myself, I found it harder to cover the letters or the page in the background as well as I did with the right hand page because of the white page in the background. So once I'd finished putting all my paint out, I then dried it off, and now I've got some of my Inkie Gold wax. So I'm just going in, putting a little bit on my finger and then just spreading over the top and just hitting those areas relief on the top. And I really loved how it sort of worked. You sort of get this almost embossed effect across your page. You can see where sort of the wax went on in different ways. It really likes the slick surfaces of those already gold letters. I know it seems a bit pointless painting the gold letters and then redoing them gold, but you know, this is what we do as artists. We make these decisions on a go. You can see how the wax has also gone into the foam letters. It sort of is a little bit more distressed and scratchy, which again is a really cool way for it to go on. Sorry, I'm forgetting my words at the moment. You can also see I've deliberately left the I Am an Artist black. I decided that I wanted to do that in a contrasting colour so it did actually stick out. So I've got this ruby goldy, not gold at all, ruby pink colour from Finnabair, and I'm putting that on. Now this wax is a slightly different consistency from the Inkie Gold wax. It's a little bit softer and it's easier to transfer, but it's also easier to transfer onto other surfaces. I found the Inkie Gold wax, I've never really had an issue with it transferring onto other pages. You'll notice when I finish this page off, there's a little bit of transfer of the pinky colour onto another image. So just be aware of that. I don't know if heat setting it beforehand would work or not. Yeah, it's one of those things you need to play around with. Talking about playing around, I did think I was going to put an image on here. I thought it'd be cool to have tissue paper that I could sort of just meld into the background, but it was just going to be too difficult to try and get around all those letter shapes. So I went through my collage bin and I found this image, which is a free postcard from MAC Makeup Stores, and it was just perfect because it matched the colours of the I Am an Artist perfectly. So with the torn edge, I've just gone around with that wax again, just to sort of tie it in together. And I'm going to stick that down on my page as my focal image. I just liked how the two worked together. To glue it down, I'm using this red liner tape, which is super sticky double-sided tape. Regular tape probably would have worked, but because it was on the raised alphabet letters and the alphabet letters had wax on it, I just wanted to make extra sure that everything stuck down as well as it possibly could do. So I was just being a little bit cautious. I'm just going in as well with the gold again, just to cover over where I transferred some of that pink onto my page. Now one thing I do need to say that I didn't when I was doing the stickers, just be aware when you're doing near the spine, you can see I've left a little bit of a gap. I probably could have left a little bit more of a gap. Just so you've got your pages closing together. You don't want to do anything over the gap or too close where you're not going to get your page sitting nicely in your book. I have to admit, this is just the second page in this journal. This is a new journal, so I wasn't really considering all that much. I'm probably going to be cursing myself for doing this when I'm near the end of the journal, but for the moment it's working okay. So here's a close-up of the finished pages. It's lots of fun and it's a great way to use up your sticker stash. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye for now.